Have you ever felt like you're just standing alone and you have nothing left? You have nothing left to give, and you're worried that nobody's coming. So, Captain America had one of these darkest moments, and while it's kind of metaphoric because it's in a movie, there are some battles that you just don't think you can win. But it's these moments of resilience that's what they happen for a reason, and timing is something that you know when it's the right time. And today we're going to talk about how holding fast through the storms of life can be one of the greatest breakthroughs. And I am talking about the portal scene in Endgame. So when those portals finally open, help finally comes. Hi, I'm Reverend Kevin, and this is Wisdom Fragments. And remember, there are fragments of wisdom in all of our pop culture stuff and in the Bible too. So today we're going to talk about resilience and divine timing. So for those that haven't watched Captain America at all, most of this is coming from Endgame. So the Avengers Endgame, where there is this remarkable scene where Captain America is just beaten. The bad guy Thanos wrecks his shield, and he had Thor's hammer. He was actually worthy to wield it because only the worthy can wield it, and he had that fly out of his hand. And so he felt broken and abandoned, and he was the last one that fell because all the others had fallen before. And, when you're feeling like that, you feel like there's no hope and that you're abandoned. This is when sometimes it's hard to listen to stuff like this. So this is from Isaiah. But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength, and they will soar on wings like eagles, and they will run but not grow weary, and they will walk and not faint. And so this is one of the best scripture passages, and it has multiple hymns. You might have heard one, On Eagle's Wings. It comes from, references this, also references a psalm. And so, it's faith that can give us hope and strength. But see, the thing is that when we're at the end of a rope, we don't know when the cavalry is coming. And we don't know if it will ever come. And you see, the thing is that Captain America is broken here. He is completely broken and battered. And so that shield itself is kind of a symbol of how broken he is. And the thing is that we too can stand strong in these moments. You see, his shield is shattered. He has lost his hammer. Everything is lost. There are thousands of people, of new troops coming in from Thanos' army, and he stands alone against Thanos. He gets back up. His arm seems to be broken, and then he ties his shield a little bit tighter, and he gets up, and he stares Thanos in the face, and he stands alone. This is when perseverance is important. He has no idea anybody's coming. But I want to make it clear here. He doesn't need the cavalry. He is the cavalry. Or should I say, he will lead the cavalry. You see, I think a lot of people misunderstand the portals theme in Endgame. He stands alone, and then the universe comes to stand with him. And one of the best parts about that scene, and this was ad-libbed by Chadwick Boseman, he comes out and with his entire army coming through the portal saying, Ibambe, Ibambe, Ibambe. What it means is hold fast. So when we're in this situation, this is what we mean. We need to hold fast. Our faith will help us to hold fast, but remember, faith is an action. It's not something you just have. So in this case, Captain America had to get back up and do it even though nobody was coming. And then the amazing miracle happens, and the entire MCU comes forward and comes to help him. In Hebrews we hear, let us hold unswervingly to hope so that we profess, for he who is promised is faithful. And you see, this is something that is telling us to hold on to our faith. We can do it just like Captain America can. I know he's fictional, but these are people to look up to. These are people to aspire to, just like Jesus. And there's a reason why we see them throughout pop culture. It's not because culture is getting rid of all this stuff. No, it's because culture is framing it in a way that's easier for our modern ears to understand than what was 2,000 years ago. You see, the thing is that Captain America had to surrender. And we'll talk about this in future videos. He had to surrender to God's will. Or maybe we might say the divine timing. Uh, when you surrender, you don't care about when it's coming. You don't care about when it is. It will happen when it happens. And it did happen. And what ended up happening was the cavalry didn't come to save Cap. The cavalry came to join him. The cavalry came to have Captain America as its leader. In Ecclesiastes we hear there's a time for everything and a season for everything under the heavens, sometimes said under the sun. And that's exactly what happened in Endgame. But just to be clear, it's not always an army. It's not always a bunch of people helping. It could be a bunch of things that only you are in the right time at the right place. Notice the divine aid. But it will come. And what's more important is that you will lead it or you will use it. So what are we broken? How are we broken? What are we waiting for? And what are we needing to hold fast to? I'd love to hear about it. I'd love to hear about it in the comments. I want to challenge you. No matter what you're going through, I want you to realize that God's help is on the way, even if you can't see it. Hold fast. Hold fast in this waiting. And the portals will open. Divine help will come, and it will be on its way. So remember, Ibambe, Ibambe, Ibambe. Hold fast.